How to Create a Glitch Monologues Season 26 Chapter 6. This is Season 26 of How to Create a Glitch in the Matrix Monologues Episode 6. In this episode, we will be talking about the impact of the celestial rhythms on the cycles of history. In past episodes, specifically in the complete series and in our episode on the celestial rhythms, we talked about how rhythms in nature reflect and produce patterns in the large-scale behavior of people. These patterns or waves producing gateways between those people, creating identity convergence, archetypal or otherwise. So, what are these cycles? Celestial rhythms are any cycles which repeat, creating continuity between the behavior of individuals over time. This means, especially, that these rhythms can impact sociality by changing the level of light, heat, vibration or otherwise. For example, scientists have observed there to be large climate oscillations linked to the orbits of Saturn and Jupiter producing cycles with periods of 20 and 60 years. Likewise, a 9.1-year cycle is linked to the Moon's orbital cycles. The linking of historical variation in temperature could generate recurring patterns of behavior on a cyclical basis according to the cycle. Now, this is interesting because the larger historical cycles we have been discussing in the last few episodes correspond to similar timescales. For example, we should expect to see 120-year, 60-year cycles as well as 20, 40, 80, and 100-year cycles. The duration of the imposition of the cycle on historical patterns, reflected in emotional calibration of the populace, is numerically certain, owing to the equation cycle time over cycle period is equal to E times 10 to the negative x, x being the power level of the cycle. Now, not knowing the power level of the cycle, at least initially, tells us we have to work with multiple power levels, producing a multi-leveled analysis. For example, if the cycle period is 60 years, the power level -1, cycle time equals approximately 16 years. Which means that every 60 years, 16 years will repeat, the last cycle ending on the year 2000. Likewise, if the cycle period is 20 years, power level -1, then the cycle time equals 5.43 years. Which means every 20 years, 5.43 years will repeat. But temperature is only one of the variables which impact human behavior, producing patterns. There are other cycles such as the metonic cycle which reveals the cycles of the Moon recur every 19 years, which would affect tidal forces and night light. Suffice it to say, the character of nature of these cycles could produce the kinds of historical patterns we see in human behavior. That's the end of the podcast for today. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment and subscribe.